Hello, this is Maria from visasinportugal.com. Today with another video for you. Because you asked for, today we are going to discuss D3 visa, visas for those who are highly qualified, teachers, researchers, okay, and so on. So if this is information you like, hit subscribe, say you love it, and we go from there. Because you asked for this information, I've got your back. Let's do it. What is a D3 visa? So a D3 visa is for those who are highly qualified. They have a PhD degree or a master degree, they have 5 years of experience, and they want to work in Portugal. What do they need to show? Well, depends on which situation they are coming to. Are they highly qualified an engineer working that want to work in Portugal, or are they a researcher for a university, or are they a teacher that comes and teach in Portugal? Okay? So, depending on the situation, you are going to need to show your college degree, the master degree, the PhD. You need to show that it needs to be certified by the college that you went to. You need to show that you have a contract or a promise of contract from your employer here in Portugal. You need to show that you have a criminal background check. You need to show that you have insurance. You need to show that you have registered within the tax office in Portugal and you have your NIF, your Portuguese tax number. You need to show that you have inscribed in Social Security in Portugal. You need to show that you have a means of subsistence. You can subsist on your own. Your contract, your promise of contract needs to show that you have 1.5 minimum wage, which is around 2,300 euros. You need to show that you have a property that you live in, you rent, you own, or your employer provides you a place to stay while you are in Portugal. The college certification, all the documents providing your 5 years of professional experience are very important when it comes to a D3, okay? It's very important that you can provide information that with transparency shows that you are highly qualified, and that's why you are coming for the job. That's why you are coming to Portugal, okay? And of course, you need to submit all of this information at the VFS of your country, or even better, at the Portuguese embassy of your country, okay? Now, what can you do while you are in Portugal? First of all, your contract needs to be a 1-year contract that can be renewed every year. So you will be granted a residency permit here in Portugal. With that residency permit, later on you can do family reunion with your spouse, with your children, with your parents. Go check the family reunion video we did so you can understand the process. Now, what is very important? First of all, you need to understand, are you coming to work? Are you coming to work for a Portuguese company, a Portuguese employer? Are you going to be self-employed and having your own company in Portugal? So if you're coming to work for an employer, the employer needs to issue a statement saying that yes, they comply with all the requirements for the high qualification visa, in this case the D3 visa. They need to assure that you are going to receive the wage, the salary that it's implied for this type of visa, the 2,300 euros minimum per month. And you are going to need to show that you have an authenticated copy of your college certificate showing that you have the degree that is needed for the job application that you applied for and that you were granted for. Okay? Now, very important. Authentication certificate from college. Healthcare in Portugal. Passport valid for more than 6 months. Criminal background check. Housing, prove that you can have a property to stay in, a bedroom, or an apartment, whatever, or that your employer provides you one. Means of subsistence, proving that you can subsist on your own, that the salary will be more than enough to cover all the expenses. Because imagine, you come with a contract of 2,300 euros, right? And then you decided to rent a property of 2,500 euros. That D3 visa will not be approved for you, okay? So we need to be reasonable when showing the expenses and the means of subsistence that you have, okay? Now, if you say, Maria, I come to Portugal for a property of 2,500 per month, I am going to receive a salary of 2,300, but I have 100,000 in my bank account. Okay, and I'm going to show that, okay, then probably it will be approved, but that's not the goal of a D3, okay? Now, if you say, I'm not going to work for an employer, I'm going to develop my own activity in Portugal, so I'm going to either be self-employed and I can prove that I'm self-employed, or I'm going to open my own company, I can prove all the documents of the company. So these are all circumstances that are taking you to a different outcome, depending on the circumstances. That's what we always say at visasinportugal.com. It's very important that you have a one-on-one meeting. So come to our website, visasinportugal.com, book a one-on-one meeting with us where we can discuss your circumstances and outline the best visa for you. But in the case of the D3, you have several options. Depending if you come to teach, you can provide the contract if you're coming to teach. If you're coming to teach as a contractor, then you can show that you are either self-employed or you have a company. If you're coming because you are an engineer, you are a marketing expert and whatnot, you can show your contract. If not, provide the self-employment or the company, and so on, so on. So these are the strategies that define your D3. It's not that difficult. The only difference from 2026 to previous years is that nowadays you have to submit your application at the VFS of your country or the Portuguese embassy in your country of residency or your country of origin. Okay? If you have any questions regarding this D3 visa, please put them in the comments. I will reply to all of them. Send me emails like you always do. Go to visasinportugal.com and submit me all your questions, and I will reply to all of them. See you soon. Bye.